The last thing we're going to do is make sure that your email is rocking and rolling. We want to be sure that you are getting your notifications from Google Classroom, that you're getting those email notifications. The first thing you want to do is be sure that you are actually getting notifications from Google Classroom via email. And this is important because there are some things that you'll never know about happening over there if you don't do this. So in your Google Classroom, if you already know that you get them because your inbox is full of them, then you don't need to do this part. But if you are not getting notifications, you need to go to this menu, scroll to the bottom, go to settings, and in here we will have our email notifications, turn them on. You can make yours match mine if you want, but you absolutely have to turn on comments on your posts and private comments on work, because that is a student trying to talk to you. So you absolutely have to turn on those too. I would recommend following the settings that I have here. If you want to add other ones, please do. Work and other posts from teachers, that's so that when we post stuff in the faculty classroom, you'll get a notification. And then in classes that you teach, you definitely want to get late submissions, resubmissions, and then these other two are your choice. We're not co-teaching very often, so you don't necessarily need an email for that, but you won't get them very often anyway. And then scheduled posts. Then you might want to go here in the class notifications. This is like global settings, and then class by class. So you might find that you have a lot of old classes in here, which means you probably need to go archive them so they don't show up. But there's probably also things you don't need notifications for. Like if you're in a grade level Google Classroom, you don't necessarily need an email notification from that unless you just want to get them. So you can toggle these on and off if there are ones that you don't feel like you need to get notifications from. Maybe it's a club that you don't monitor anymore or something like that. So once we know those are on, then we want to go to our Gmail. Once you're in Gmail, we're going to go to settings, see all settings, and we're going to forward your mail from Gmail to your Outlook account. If you've already done this and you know you're getting them there, you can skip this part, fast forward. Otherwise, settings that I just clicked, and then you have to choose see all settings to come to this screen. Look across the top here. We're going to click on forwarding and pop IMAP. We want to be sure that this is turned on. If you've never done this before, you won't have this option. It'll just say disabled. The first thing you'll need to do is click add a forwarding address. When you do that, you'll type in your regular email address and say next. You'll get a little confirmation window up here, and you'll confirm that that's the right email address. And then you'll toggle this to rather from disabled into forward. And you'll want to make it say forward a copy to my address that I just gave you. And then you can choose right here. I choose to have mine archive. Like once it's already forwarded to my other inbox, I just tell it to archive that email so it's not sitting there in my inbox. You can even have them delete it if you don't want to. I mean, if you're never really going to come back here and check it again. So choose which option you like. I like archive. And once that's done, you must scroll down and say save changes or they will disappear. So scroll all the way down and say save changes. Now we have forwarded your email from your Gmail inbox, which we don't really need to look at again after today because it's all going to forward. I'm going to close it because I don't need to look at it anymore. And I'm going to go to my Outlook. Now there's two ways to look at Outlook. One is webmail, which is the one I recommend, so that you don't have to open a desktop application. It might be that some of you look at your email this way. And if you do, it will look like this other thing. I encourage you to switch over to webmail. It's the one that's supported by the district. This one is not supported by the district, and most of the tutorials and things that we send you will be for the webmail version. So if you're using something that looks like this, then my current instructions will be slightly different. I'll come back to this at the end in case you're using this. So let me get it out of the way for now. So here in this inbox, what I've done is, first of all, I'm using my favorites. Maybe you're using this, maybe you're not. You might not even have noticed it before. But if you drop this down, You have all these, you might have lots and lots of folders and things down here. And you can favorite them and make them pop up here to the top of the list. It doesn't actually move them, it just kind of puts a shortcut up at the top. So I recommend that you right click on your inbox and say mark as favorite. Mine's already there, so it says remove, and it will put it up here at the top. And then we are going to favorite some folders that we're going to create here in just a minute. If you want to favorite a few other things, that's your choice. I keep my sent, deleted, and drafts here because those are the ones I access most of the time. And if you want to take something out of favorites that's already up here, you can right click it and remove it from favorites. Okay. So, and I keep my favorites folder open all the time, and I actually close this folder down here unless I need to go to it for something else, which means this is a nice short list now. So we're going to go write a couple of rules that will sort out email that comes into this inbox so that all those Google Classroom notifications do not land in your inbox. But if somebody emails you directly by typing your email address, it will land in your inbox. Okay? So we are going to click on our settings cog or gear in the upper right-hand corner, and then go down to view all Outlook settings. In here, you're going to click on mail, and then you're going to click on rules, and yours is probably empty, and you're going to say add new rule. So you're going to click that, and you'll get something that looks like this. Now I'm going to discard this one, and I'm going to open the rule that you need to copy. So you should make yours look like this. In the number 1 box, you're going to type the word late. This is the name of this rule. Then we're going to change add a condition to subject includes. And then we're going to enter the word late, because when Google Classroom sends you an email about late work, it has the word late in the subject line. Then we are going to add an action. What do I do with that email? We move it to. So under organize, choose move it to. And then we're going to select a folder. Now, you don't have a late work folder yet, so we're going to make it. And we're going to start doing that by just typing late. You'll see that I already have a late work folder, but if I wanted to create a new one called just late, then I type the words, and you can choose late or late work, whatever makes you happy, and then say create new, and it will make that folder and we'll put it here. So now any email that arrives with the word late in the subject line will move to the late work folder. Uncheck this stop processing more rules box. If you want to know why, ask me in person. Save. Now we're going to do the same for resubmitted and private message. I'm going to open resubmitted. Everything is the same. I'm going to just pause for a second talking right here. You can pause the video and create your rule. So pause your video now if you need to create the rule. And I'm going to keep going. I'm going to click save. And we'll do the same thing for private comment. So make sure you don't say comments with an S because it says private comment. And same thing, I'll give you just a second to pause the video and copy this rule. And now I'm going to keep going. So save. Now we should have 3 rules written here. Ideally, have a friend or, from some other email account that you have, send yourself an email. Don't do it from this one, but send yourself an email to your G account. All right. So I'm going to do that from my, my phone right this second. I'm going to send an email to mpen@g.horrycountyschools.net. I'm going to put the word late in the subject, and I'm going to send it. And that's going to go to my G account, forward to this inbox, and then it should drop right in here. See, there it is. I click it, and there's my email. Now, I faked it. That one didn't come from Google Classroom, but the same thing will happen to your Google Classroom emails. And then you get a little notification. See, I have one email in here. So now I'll see an indicator for new emails in my inbox, but I'll also see an indicator for private comments, which I know are from students. And you can see here today from where Flip and Metallo and Cerrone have sent me things in Google Classroom. And they always say added private comment. So we're looking for that in our rule. You can scroll down in this email, read what they wrote, click reply, and it will take you right to that spot in Google Classroom to write a response back to your student. Hopefully this will help you keep your Gmail cleaned up, nice and neat. Feel free to write rules for other things. Also, all of your mail from your Gmail account will now forward over here. So you're probably going to see a lot of junk coming in. Now is a great time to start marking things as junk. So as stuff comes in, I have no idea if I can find something that's junk because I've been cleaning this for weeks now, but let's, I'll pretend Kelly is junk for a second. She's not, of course. We love her. But if she were, then I could just, while I have this email clicked, say junk, and it will toss all the emails from her in the future. Here's another handy, don't do that because we need to see her emails. But you also, any solicitation email that you get is required by law to have an unsubscribe link at the bottom. So scroll down if you're getting stuff from Nearpod or Edpuzzle or whatever and don't want those anymore, scroll to the bottom and unsubscribe. Just make them go away. Another handy tip is if you get, for example, newsletters and you want to read them every now and then, but don't want them cluttering up your inbox, you can select that newsletter. Again, we'll pretend like Kelly is a newsletter. She's not, but just in case. And I can use this one called Sweep. If I click on Sweep, I get the option to do several things, but my favorite is always keep the latest message and move the rest from the inbox. So I get a lot of newsletters and when I have time, I read whichever one I have there. So it's like throwing out the old magazine when you get a new one, right? This will do that for you automatically. And you can also, if you don't want to do that, you can say, keep it for 10 days. And if I haven't read it by then, junk it. Okay. So those are nice for keeping your inbox nice and tidy. I hope that helps. If you need help with any of this, certainly see me. Or if you have other sort of special situations that you want me to help with your sorting and keeping your life all organized, let me know. I'm your Marie Kondo of email. All right, y'all. You guys are the best, the best, the best anywhere on the planet. Koi Pride. See ya.